Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today I like to solve one serious disaster in Wing Chun, Chinese Kung Fu, qigong, neigong. Today we need to solve this problem because right now it is really a disaster. Now, the reason why I share this today is because many of our Wing Chun friends and Chinese Kung Fu friends and internal art friends have read this book, the Wing Chun Neigong Code. And I found out that from what they send me message to ask me questions is that they are living in a world that which is not Chinese at all. And due to they are not living in a Chinese world, Chinese culture world, a Wing Chun world, authentic Wing Chun, or authentic Neigong, qigong meditation world, they don't understand what I present here. They don't understand what the ancient Buddha's teaching is about. And this is really serious. So let me share with you. This book is easy to read. Of course, like every engineering book or medical book, you need to put your mind to read. But it is easy to read if you know what I'm going to share with you now. If you don't read it this way, you will never understand what it is. You will never understand what is Chinese Kung Fu, qigong, neigong. You never know that. It is this serious. So, the proper way to read this book, or the proper way to learn Wing Chun, learn qigong, neigong, Buddhist meditation, Taoist meditations, the real internal art and so forth, is you always have to remember. You always, whenever you learn something or you read something, like every section of this book, you have to remember asking the question, what is the attainment this section or this part is presenting? The second thing is, what is the practice? What is the way, the process, the procedure described here? So that I be able to attain the attainment or the goal. The third one is, so how will I know if I attain? After I practice the process or how to do it. That is the verification. So in this book, disregard of it is from the 1400 years ago, the writing, the teaching of the 1400 years ago from the Buddhists, or the 1850s Wing Chun, or with the today's sports science. You always have to ask this question: what is this about? Meaning, what do I need to attain when I do this thing? Or what do I need to learn? Or what I'm learning? The second is, how am I going to get there? What is the practice? How is the proper practice? The third is the verification. How can I verify that I really practice properly and effectively so I be able to attain? And also, do I or have I attained after I practice? The entire book is about that. You can be using today's language in science, can use this digital tracker, can use the teaching of 1,400 years ago. It never get out from this. Okay? Remember, A is attainment, or the goal, or what should I experience, or what should I learn. P is practice. How am I going to practice? What is the proper way? What is the proper teaching? And V is verifications. You need to verify all these things. That is how we're going to learn Chinese culture, Chinese qigong, Buddhist qigong, meditations, Taoist, whatever. You have to have this APV in your mind. It never get away from APV. If you get away from APV, it's guaranteed you are not going to learn anything. But if you train yourself to live with AVP, everything's clear, really simple. Even though there's details, but you know it's kind of straightforward thing. Now, so you need to this type of to enter into or to adapt to this type of mentality or mindset, or else you will never know, you never learn, you never develop the Kung Fu. That's for sure. The problem today, the reason our friend don't understand this, doesn't even understand what is the teaching of the 1400 years ago or 1850s or so forth, because their mindset has already been programmed into a type of different reality. The first type is the watching old movies reality. You look at today's Wing Chun practice. It will always like you go watching an old movie of Wing Chun. In the movie, you have this king of Wing Chun, you have this grandmaster, you have this monk of Wing Chun. And then in the movie, you mimic this posture, doing this, doing that, or doing your tan pong fok and everything. And every time when you want to train in Wing Chun, you actually go back to that movie. This is how the grandmaster do, according to the grandmaster. This is how legend said. This is how the lineage said. It is just playing a movie. Replay the movie again and again. You look back for 130 years since 1860. Does anybody develop anything? The answer seriously is really sadly to say none. Zero. Why? Because it already living in another world, which is not the world of the APV. APV is the real teaching of the Chinese culture. And the Wing Chun mostly already get into that living within the movie. Even worse, people keeping making movies to enforce those type of mentality, those type of illusion. You face it. You say that this thing is from this king of Wing Chun or this monk of Wing Chun. Have it the entire study of mimic posture? You do it long enough, you will get it. or who is the best fighter in the rooftop or whatever, have it any way or in any way tell you about what are you doing, what is the attainment supposed to be, what is the benefit you want to experience? Have you ever tell you what is the proper practice? Have it tell you about the verifications? No. It is always this guy say that guy say that, this is how we do, this is how the philosophy. Everybody have their way. But there's no A, P, V. And because there's no APV, it is exactly like you are living within the old movies. It never exists in the China history, in real life. It is just get everybody to live in that movie. In a real Chinese way, it has to have the APV. Period. So that's the reason why in past 130 years, you never see people have attainment. Now there's one type of delusional world. And then from this, watching old movies, delusional world, it actually evolved into another illusional world. And this time is that it's still watching the old movie, just doing your 小念頭, your 吞磅服, your 黐手, whatever. But guess what? Now they add in a wrong label. They are watching movies. They don't know what is the true transmissions. And then they will say, you see, this thing is the same with Hongga. So they using the Hongga stuff mixed with their movies. And they label it Wing Chun. Seriously, that is just movie plus some Hongga stuff, superficial stuff. Some add into the Tai Chi concept or whatever philosophy. They call it the internal Wing Chun. And these days, you got somebody who trains some MMA, boasting they can fight. So they're going to do the movie stuff, the old movie stuff. But then when they fight, they will say, it has to be this way. The MMA way, the BJJ way. So this is all about, you have the old movie and a wrong label. This type of stuff is only terminology. They don't know what it is because they have never known what is the APV. Like people say, Wing Chun got nothing to do with 峨眉十二庄. Well, sure, because you have no idea on what is the APV. What is the attainment you need to develop in when you practice 小念頭? How do you practice it? What is the verification? You can go learn 峨眉十二庄 with the grandmaster as you want. Because you have no idea what is the real Chinese Kung Fu. You don't know the APV. It's all, I am this grandmaster student. This is right, my way. Again, that is off topic, completely off topic. Or I can beat better than you. I can teach your student to be better. You don't know Wing Chun. I know Wing Chun. I go to China. I visit so many grandmaster. I have my Tai Chi stuff and all whatever. you know what? All these people, it's very easy to just completely debunk the entire thing. Why? Because you don't even know the really Chinese basic APV. Anybody who have the proper right mind in the mainstream professional, be it in medical, in engineering, in science, we're going to ask the APV questions. There's no difference between the Chinese culture and the modern science, the professional science. You ask the APV. Now the first APV you need to ask when you talk about Wing Chun is, so what is sticking body short strike? You can see the entire world talk about Wing Chun is a sticking body short strike. So is this all these MMA people who claim to be authority in Wing Chun, or they study a little bit Mei Zhuang people who claim there's no Mei Zhuang in Wing Chun? Does they know what is the sticking body short strike? Does their body condition that way? It's like the Western boxer condition their body in a Western boxer way. A sticking body short strike, as I have already shared so many, including in this book and my book, Resurrecting Wing Chun, they condition in the sticking body short strike way. So what are you going to talk about? Sticking body short strike. The first APV, you cannot talk about it. Forget about this. Inside this, you have the natural pace training, the individual training, and the breathing. Forget about it, because you don't even know the very basic. So yeah, everybody is authority, grandmaster today. But what do you guys really have anyway? So, to sum it up, the Chinese way is the same with the engineering way, is the same with the real science way. Okay, don't tell me about you have a degree in this and that. Okay, I'm talking about the real engineering, like me in Silicon Valley. You can check ChatGPT or whoever, check my name in power management, it show up there with my patents and everything. Those type of practice. Like any cardiologist, you check their name, you'll be sure where did they practice and so forth, so forth. This type of professional in medical or engineering. Got nothing to do with I'm on the top, I'm better than you, nothing. But it is a professional athletic and professional training. All of these people talk about APV. Attainment, or the goal, practice, or the process of development, and verifications. You can be using personal verification, scientific verification, whatever verifications. Now when you get into that that movie, playing movie, living in that movie, you know it's a dead end. You're trapped in that bubble. When you get into the movie with the wrong label, you are actually trapped in that movie, and also you are actually have no idea what are you doing. Sure, in this wrong label, there are many people is a victim because their sifu told them this, they continue on. And there are people who's intentionally doing that. Like I said, it's very common today when people practice some kickboxing or MMA and start to get into the Wing Chun and claim that they can fight anybody, they can beat anybody, and they know it all, they do their Xiu Lim Tao, and like they are the grandmaster. Those are intentionally try to boot themselves. And as I explained, yet they have no idea what is sticking body short strike. You don't see a sticking body short strike player with a big muscle here. You don't. Okay? because the natural of the sticking body short strike have their characteristic. It's just like you don't see a swimmer build their muscle with the functional training like a swimmer. So a runner and a swimmer have a different body type because they have going through different functional training. So a runner, the guy who sprint and the guy who do swimming is different. The guy who do Thai boxing and the guy who do Western boxing, they are different. So because you don't know about the APV, you put a label of Wing Chun there, you just get the student to practice the movie stuff, the old movie stuff, living in the old movie, and you fight with the MMA. They just show really clearly. It is intentionally wrongly labeled. So I'm saying this to you. I know it's going to piss everybody off. Yes. Because why? It is not right for you guys to screw up Chinese culture. The Chinese do that is actually screwing up their own culture. The foreigner who do that is even worse. They are purposely, or if they intentionally label the thing wrong, they are screw up Chinese culture. You continue to do that, see whether you will be welcome to go to Fat San. Today is 2025. Today is not 1850, when you can get people from outside to bully the Chinese and to screw the Chinese culture. And yet we in America, we don't do that. As so many times I share that. In the Boxer Labyrinth, with the Qing dynasty Boxer Labyrinth, the Qing dynasty have to pay the United States of America so much money. And at that time, the American missionary talked with the president and then used a part of money, that money the Chinese supposed to pay, building university in Beijing, in China, okay, in China. Building university in China, and then get the Chinese to the States to study. Okay. So the American is doing good thing for the Chinese. For past 100 years or so, the American and the Chinese actually are a friend. Okay. Of course, all this American missionary, they really caring people. They are not manipulative. Even though we are not perfect, but it is not just I want to take your country, I want to break you, or all those kind of stuff. And as you see, past few days I say that the Professor McCrory, who went to China from the 1910 to 1915 to 1925, this time, I couldn't remember the exact time. It's actually helping people and mutual exchange. So we don't go doing those kind of things to screw ourselves. And the same with different races, different culture. We don't do that. Okay? So this is about human. How is your heart? Are you really serious that you can stand tall under the virtue, the moral, or to be a human? Okay. So this is what I like to share with you. You Wing Chuners, if you really want to learn something, don't learn from me. Learn from the ancient. Just asking the questions. A, P, V. If your Sifu cannot explain to you, that means he doesn't know. You have the APV of how you handle your body, your momentum, your breathing. There's no such thing as I can beat you, you beat. I mean, since a general qigong, those are not the practice. The Chinese don't do that. The qigong said, when you learn the skill, you want to test it out to see how it works, how it doesn't work. There is APV. In the Buddhist teaching of meditations, mindfulness, there is APV. That's why in this book, we today can use the apps, today modern gadget, to verify it. And this is important, so we don't waste time. Okay? So this is what I'd like to share with you. It's easy to learn things properly. It's easy to be nice, to be fair, and to really consider for other people's other culture. It's very simple. And if you intentionally screw up something, try to what? The world is filled with a lot of smart and wise people. You cannot bullshit them. And all these wise people come from different countries, different races. Because this will be able to stay and grow until today, meaning that we have much more good people, kind people, caring people than the bad people for everything for themselves, or want to be authoritarian or want to be king and screw everybody. So this is what I'd like to share with you, okay? And remember, you don't want to remember my name, Hendrik Santo, but you need to remember A, attainment, P for practice, V for verification. Ask these questions every time when you need to learn something, we need to do something, and it will be good for you. So that's what you want to learn, okay? You want to put in your mind.